Students from Lake Braddock, Thomas Jefferson, and South Lakes meet today on It's Academic. Everybody, I'm Hillary Howard. Welcome to our 6th playoff match here on It's Academic, the world's longest-running TV quiz show produced by Altman Productions in association with David M. Rubenstein Productions and WETA.
Support for It's Academic has been provided by the following: George Mason University, all together different.
Call us different.
Different in where we come from,
Where we're going,
and how we think.
but the same in our dreams for tomorrow.
Driven by the pull of possibility.
To inspire,
To think fearlessly. To protect and to heal the planet. We know the world will change.
together.
We will be the ones to change it.
Call Mason different. All
Together different.
Hello, we're so glad you're with us for another playoff round here on It's Academic. It means all these teams are good. They've all run their first round matches, and we're really looking forward to see what happens today. And we begin, guys, as we always do, with a fast start. Questions are worth 10 points up or down. First team to buzz in gets to answer. Here we go. T for terrific. Since you're all teenagers, this round will be about people and things beginning with the letter T. That's T as in toe. This little dog accompanied Dorothy to TJ.
Toto.
Yeah, one of the 3 main U.S. Virgin Islands is named for this saint. Yep, TJ.
Teresa.
No, St. Thomas. In the Odyssey, he's the son of Odysseus. Yep, Lake Braddock.
Telemachus?
Yeah, in the 1876 presidential election, he won the popular, South Lakes.
Tilden?
Tilden it is. This kind of heart, titles in Edgar Allan Poe. Yes, TJ.
Telltale.
Telltale, yeah. This city is the capital of Libya. TJ.
Tripoli.
Correct. This radioactive silvery white metal has atomic number 90 and symbol TH. Yep, Lake Braddock.
Thorium?
Answer.
Thorium.
You've got it. This tomb of this Egyptian boy king. Yep, TJ.
King Tut.
Correct. This Serbian-American inventor. Yep, TJ.
Tesla.
Who else would it be? This 2-word phrase describes she sells seashells by the. Yes, TJ.
Tongue twister.
Correct again, and that's the end of the round. Let's take a look at these scores. Lake Braddock, 120 points. Thomas Jefferson, 150 points. And South Lakes, 110 points. Obviously, since all of these students have been here before, we're not going to ask them everything that we're doing. We've learned that, but we still want to know who they are. And we begin with Lake Braddock High School in Burke, Virginia. Varun, who are you? Tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Varun. I'm a 17-year-old senior at Lake Braddock, and this is my 2nd year in It's Academic.
Wonderful. Good to see you again. You too, James.
Hi, Hillary. I'm James, a 17-year-old senior as well at Lake Braddock, and this is my 1st year on It's Academic.
Jacob.
Hi, I'm a 15-year-old sophomore at Lake Braddock, and this is my 1st year on It's Academic.
Beautiful. Well, it's good to have you, and I have some questions in this mix and match round. They're worth 20 points, nothing off for a wrong answer. Radar I use now. Don't spare anything, and you'll find in this phrase the name of what ancient king of Persia?
Darius?
Yeah. Resentment, too late, eagerly. If you were asked to do something and you did it with alacrity, you would be doing it which of these ways?
Eagerly?
Yep. Rip no seeds. Please rearrange the letters in this phrase to name what type of severe economic downturn, such as the one that followed the 1929 stock market crash.
Depression?
Yes. There is more to life than increasing its. You can complete this observation by placing in the blank the word for what scalar quantity the rate at which an object covers distance irrespective of direction.
Speed.
Speed.
Yeah. Turkmenistan, Tanzania, Tunisia. If an ancient Carthaginian were restored to life, he'd find his former home region now has which of these names?
Tunisia.
Yeah, you've got it again. From east to west blows the trumpet to arms. This line is from one of many poems written by what American colonist? Better known for his Revolutionary War pamphlets like Common Sense.
Thomas Paine.
Thomas Paine, nicely done. Lake Braddock, 240 points. Let's meet the team from Thomas Jefferson High School for Science and Technology in Fairfax County, home of the Colonials. Hi, Arya.
Hi, I'm Arya. I'm an 18-year-old senior at Thomas Jefferson, and I've been doing It's Academic for 1 year.
Awesome. Devin.
Hi, I'm Devin. I'm a 17-year-old senior at Thomas Jefferson, and this is my first year on It's Academic.
All righty. Abigail.
Hi, I'm Abigail. I'm a 17-year-old senior at TJ, and this is also my first year on ITSAC.
Well, that's wonderful, and it's great for your first year out to be here in the playoffs. That's fun. Hey, here are their questions. Wrap pianos neatly. It's good advice, but hidden within this phrase is the name of what ancient road or way that ran from Rome to Brundisium?
Appian.
Yeah. Ablutomania, choreomania, toxicomania. You would want to avoid someone who had which of these manias as described as an obsession with poison?
Toxicomania.
Yes, that's it. Air sound. The letters in this phrase can be rearranged to name what prehistoric creatures, such as the Apatosaurus and the Diplodocus?
A dinosaur.
Yeah, dinosaurs. The two most common elements in the universe are blank and stupidity. To complete this exasperated quote from a modern author, place in the blank what lightest element?
Hydrogen. Hydrogen.
That's it. Strait of Magellan, Bering Strait, Strait of Malacca. Which of these waterways is in South America?
The first one.
Yep, Magellan. You furnish the pictures, I'll furnish the war. These were the words of newspaper publisher William Randolph Hearst, whose sensationalist news stories helped cause what 1898 war?
Spanish-American War.
You've got it. Nice. TJ, 270 points. Now to South Lakes High School from Reston, Virginia. Hello, Eric.
Hello. I'm a 17-year-old junior at South Lakes High School, and this is my second year doing It's Academic.
Awesome. Kevin.
Hi, I'm Kevin. I'm a 17-year-old senior at South Lakes, and this is also my second year on It's Academic.
All right, Sarah.
Hi, my name is Zahra, and I'm a 18-year-old senior at South Lakes High School, and this is my first and last year doing It's Academic.
Well, we've loved having you.
Thanks.
Here we go, guys. Help Eric less. You can help yourself if you find hidden in this phrase the name of what statesman who led Athens in its golden age?
Pericles?
It was Pericles. Serrated, sagacious, superfluous. Someone who is very wise can best be described by which of these adjectives?
Sagacious?
Yeah. Map to her. You won't need a map if you rearrange the letters here to get what figure of speech comparable to a simile in which a comparison is made between two things.
Metaphor?
Yeah. I have nothing to offer but blood, toil, tears, and to complete this famous quote from Winston Churchill, fill in the blank with what word that's a synonym for perspiration.
Sweat.
Yes. Burundi, Lithuania, Andorra. Which one of these countries is one of the former Soviet republics?
Lithuania.
Right again. You were born clutching a clot of black blood. This is what an angry mother screamed at her son after he killed his half-brother for stealing a fish, and who would grow up to become what great conqueror and founder of the Mongol Empire?
Genghis Khan.
Genghis Khan. Can you imagine your mom telling you that? That's pretty wild. Nice job, South Lakes. 230 points. That does it for Mix and Match. We have Picture Perfect next.
I'm David Rubenstein. From the Kennedy Center and the National Archives to the Lincoln Memorial and the Washington Monument, I've been pleased to support many important organizations and historic sites linked to American history, art, culture, education, and more. I believe giving back to our country isn't just an idea, It's an action, a patriotic action that involves all of us. And it begins with education and learning about our nation's past so that we, the people, can make a more perfect union for the future. We can do it together. Please read, learn, get involved, and make a difference.
We've got a whole lot of pictures for this picture perfect round. You guys know this. Questions are worth 20 points up or down. First team to buzz in gets to answer. Although this print shows a man making a barrel, its title refers to what Japanese mountain which can be seen? TJ.
Fuji.
Mount Fuji is correct. These are the chiefs of the Six Nations Confederation, a Native American group also known by the name TJ.
Iroquois.
Yeah. This painting is the work of what 18th to 19th century Spanish artist who also painted the Naked Maha? Yes, TJ.
Goya.
Yeah, nice. When this equation is graphed, what's the slope of the resulting, TJ?
Wait, 4/3.
4/3 is correct. This is a grebe, a bird famous for its ability to engage in what activity that's the focus of the Greek muse Terpsichore? Yep, TJ.
Dance.
Yeah, that's it. This 1846 patent drawing was for what kind of machine developed by Elias Howe and Isaac TJ?
Sewing machine.
Sewing machine is right. Art lovers might note this location. For what Paris museum? Who's TJ?
The Louvre.
Correct. This is King Stephen, also known as King Saint Stephen. The first king of what country later ruled jointly with Austria by perhaps Thomas Jefferson?
Hungary.
Hungary is right, and that's the end of the round. So we have the students over here. We have the coaches and administrators and family over there. Let's meet the folks that support these teams, and we begin with Lake Braddock. James, who's with you?
We'd like to thank our wonderful coach, Mr. Holtzman, our assistant director of student activities, Mrs. Tubbs, our principal, Mrs. Kearns, our alternate, Ben, and our co-coach, Mr. Carlson, who couldn't be here today, and of course, all of our wonderful parents.
Wonderful. It's great to have all of you. Thanks so much. And to Thomas Jefferson. Devin.
Yeah, we'd like to thank our new principal, Mr. Mukai. We'd like to thank our wonderful coach, Ms. Fu. And we'd also like to thank all of the parents that we have in the audience today, as well as Mr. Arthur and Ms. Handlin.
All right, guys. Good to see you as well. And finally, South Lakes.
Hi, we'd like to thank our coach, Ms. France, our assistant principal, Ms. Winter, our alternates, Robin, Amani, and Ridvik, and our lovely parents who are here with us.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody, so much for being here. And thanks for the introduction, Kevin. Appreciate it. Okay, it's time for the packet round. Time to pick a packet. You know how it works. Lake Braddock, you answer questions first. Thomas Jefferson, you get to choose which packet they'll answer questions from.
1. That's a great number.
1, okay. So if you get all the questions right, 25-point bonus. Questions are worth 20 points, nothing off for a wrong answer. A very bright invertebrate is the way one biologist described what sea creature that can unscrew jaw lids using its 8 tentacles.
Octopus?
Yeah. Benjamin Lundy, an 1830s abolitionist, was a member of what pacifist religion to which William Penn had belonged?
Quaker.
Right again. Because it was discovered in Hell Creek, the nickname Chicken from Hell was given to a feathered dinosaur whose fossil remains were found in what U.S. state whose capital is Pierre?
North Dakota.
Very close, South Dakota. Here's your science question. Vacuolar, plasma, mitochondrial. All substances entering and leaving a cell must pass through which of these membranes?
Plasma.
Yeah. During the Civil War, Abraham Lincoln tried to suspend an important legal right with what 2-word Latin name meaning, you have the body?
Habeas corpus. Habeas corpus.
Yes. President John Quincy Adams said that, in his youth, his favorite book had been what collection of stories narrated by Scheherazade?
100 Days. No, Arabian. Yeah, Arabian Nights.
You are right. 1001 Arabian Nights to be specific. Here's your math question. Evaluate this expression if A equals 2. Answer?
19.
21. In George Washington's first administration, the only practicing lawyer on the payroll was what first Attorney General of the United States? Answer is Edmund Randolph. Lake Braddock, home of the Bruins, 340 points. Okay, TJ, your packet is in the hands of South Lakes. What's it going to be?
2.
2. Beavers secrete a gooey substance that's an FDA-approved kind of food flavoring, the opposite of chocolate.
Vanilla?
Isn't that gross? Yeah. One of the founders of Amherst College was what American, best known for publishing the first American dictionary?
Webster?
Yes. Your copper pennies are actually an alloy made of copper and what other metal whose chemical symbol is Zn?
Zinc?
Yes. Here's your science question. Resultant, reactant, complement. Which of these terms describes a single force that will produce the same effect as 2 or more forces?
Resultant?
Yeah, you've got it. In 1902, early car manufacturer Ransom Olds decided the grass was greener on the other side of the road and began producing gasoline-powered lawn mowers in what Michigan capital city?
Lansing.
Yeah, though the book titled The Hot Gates refers to the Battle of Thermopylae, this work is actually a collection of essays by what author of Lord of the Flies?
Golding.
Yes, here's your math question. Solve for X.
14.
Yep. The first European to reach India by sailing around the Cape of Good Hope was what Portuguese explorer who set out in 1497?
Vasco da Gama.
Vasco da Gama is right. Nicely done. 25-point bonus for Thomas Jefferson. Awesome, guys. 615 points. And now, packet number 3 for South Lakes. In Norse mythology, the emblems of the god Thor were a hammer and what item of clothing that in black might suggest he was a karate expert?
Belt?
Yes. During World War II, some U.S. steel mills continued operating, even on what holiday when the fictional Scrooge gave Bob Cratchit a day off?
Christmas?
Yes. Rip Van Winkle's peaceful dog was named after what wild canine that is frequently the villain in children's stories?
Wolf?
Yep, wolf is it. Here's your science question. Bathyscaphe, batholith, barrel descender. Which of these terms refers to a deep-sea diving apparatus used for oceanic exploration?
Barrel descender?
No, it's bathyscaphe. Blue ponds of dust caused by electrically charged soil particles cover many of what small celestial bodies orbiting between Mars and Jupiter?
Asteroids?
That is it. Popularity was called glory's small change by what 19th century French author whose novels include Les Miserables?
Hugo?
Yeah, here's your math question. Evaluate this expression, giving your answer as a positive integer.
27.
Right. During the War of 1812, a ban on clothing made in Britain was urged by what Kentucky statesman who later stitched together the Compromise of 1850?
Calhoun?
No, it's Henry Clay. But well done, South Lakes, home of the Seahawks, for a total of 350 points. That does it for the packet round. We will have a very exciting grab bag coming up in just a minute.
Hello, I'm David Rubenstein. Did you know that Alexander Graham Bell and Thomas Edison disagreed as to whether people should say ahoy or hello when answering the phone? As you know, Edison's greeting won out. I'm David Rubenstein, reminding you to read, learn, get involved, and make a difference.
We have reached the very important grab bag round. Let's recap the scores before we begin. Lake Braddock, 340 points. Thomas Jefferson, 615 points. And South Lakes, 350 points. So I've got a question for TJ. You going to let the other people answer? No? Okay. Here we go, guys. Questions are worth 20 points up or down. First team to buzz in gets to answer. Both an interest-bearing government certificate and the fictional British secret agent 007 can be identified with TJ.
Bond.
James Bond. According to the title of a story by J.D. Salinger, it was a perfect day for, yes, South Lakes.
Banana fish.
You've got it. The blue stripe in the flag of Laos represents what major river that forms part of the border? TJ.
Mekong.
Yeah, on your screens. This is what man who shocked the nation in 1832 by becoming the first vice president to, TJ? Calhoun to resign from office. Honeybees have been trained to push a ball in return for what kind of treat with chemical formula C12H22O11 Lake Braddock? Answer. 3, 2, 1.
Glucose.
No, it's sugar or sucrose. Sorry. The rules governing how and when soldiers may be quartered in private homes are outlined in, TJ.
Third Amendment.
You are right. The sine of 125 degrees is the same as the sine of what angle between 0 and 90 degrees? TJ. Answer?
55.
Yep, on your screens. This isn't right. This isn't even wrong. This comment was made by Wolfgang Pauli, who won the Nobel Prize in what scientific field? Where, TJ?
Physics?
Yeah, it is physics. Musicians perform all over the city during Summerfest, the annual music festival held in what largest Wisconsin city, TJ?
Milwaukee.
It is. Of all my books, I like this best, said Charles Dickens of what partly autobiographical novel in which Mr. Micawber and Uriah Heep, TJ?
David Copperfield.
Yep. Choice. By weight. The most abundant element in the ocean is nitrogen, oxygen, or sodium. Any takers? Going once, going twice, Lake Braddock.
Oxygen. Oxygen.
Yes, it is. Nice. On your screens. The title of this Winslow Homer painting refers to what natural phenomenon, TJ?
The Gulf Stream.
No, we're looking for wind or breeze that was controlled by the Greek god Aeolus. Cyrus Field fielded many a difficult problem before he completed what great underwater task in 1866? The answer is the transatlantic cable. In 1926, Gertrude Ederle became the first woman to swim across what narrow body, Lake Braddock?
Channel.
You are right. A church deacon invented the ice cream sundae because the sale of sodas on Sunday was forbidden by restrictive laws known by what colorful name? Anybody? They are. Well, you know what the buzzer means, and the answer is blue laws. Ever heard of them? Yeah, no? All right, well, they're blue laws. Okay, that is the end of the game. Please stick around. We're going to take a look at these scores and have the official ones in just a minute.
I'm David Rubenstein, and I believe giving back is something we all can do. Many students are getting involved in their communities in important ways. I've asked them to share with us how they're making a difference.
Hello, my name is Layla, and I'm a senior at Georgetown Day School. I believe that relationships are what make life beautiful. Nurturing connections with my community while bringing humor and an open heart is what truly fulfill me. I've built vibotactile gloves to help reduce tremors in individuals with Parkinson's. It's taught me that service is more than just giving. It's about listening to those we serve, understanding their needs, and using our abilities to help them. I also volunteered at a sea turtle reserve in Nicaragua focused on hawksbill turtle conservation. Since I'm from Nicaragua, it was incredibly fulfilling to give back to an environment that shaped me while interacting with biologists and turtles. Through these connections, I've contributed to something greater than myself, reinforcing my belief in service. When we care and show up, we can create real change.
Like these students, you too can help improve the lives of so many people by volunteering in your town and community. Please read, learn, get involved, and make a difference.
So before this competition even began, I said to all of the students behind me, it doesn't even matter which way this goes. Each and every one of them is awesome, and it's true. We begin with Lake Braddock High School from Burke, Virginia. Varun James Jacob, 360 points. From South Lake High School in Reston, Virginia, Eric Kevin Zahra, 370 points. And now to the team that apparently wanted to play alone. Thomas Jefferson High School of Science and Technology, Arya Devon Abigail, 755 points, coming back for the playoffs. Amazing job. You're welcome. That does it for today. Can't wait to see you next time. I'm Hillary Howard. And remember, everybody, it's academic. Bye-bye.
Support for It's Academic has been provided by the following: George Mason University, all together different.
Call us different.
Different in where we come from,
Where we're going,
and how we think.
but the same in our dreams for tomorrow.
Driven by the pull of possibility.
To inspire,
To think fearlessly. To protect and to heal the planet. We know the world will change.
together.
We will be the ones to change it.
Call Mason different. All
Together different.